Good afternoon. If you have already joined us, we're just going to give it another minute or two to allow more attendees to jump in. So bear with us for just a second and we'll get started soon. All right, we can go ahead and get started today. Welcome to the office hours webinar for May for Property Intel. We've got the usual gang here. I'm Kelsey, Senior Product Marketing Manager for PI. We have Joshua Martin and Zach Decker, the product managers, and Chris Ascalisi, Technical Solutions Specialist. Sorry, Chris, I will get your headshot in this new slide design here. We should have a short one today. We are going to cover the new features and improvements. Joshua will take us through a demo of the new features, and then we'll have some time set aside for Q&A at the end. Today, Joshua will be covering the collaborative editing feature that we've had in progress for quite a while now with an update there. We have some exciting new section builder report, UX and UI updates to share, and then some general improvements and bug fixes. So with that, Joshua, I will stop sharing and you can take it away.
All right. Yeah, as it relates to the collaborative editing, there's not a whole lot to necessarily demo here today, other than we are going to start looking for and getting signups to start doing beta testing with it. So we do expect here this month to kind of have, or actually through probably the rest of this month of May, and then as we get into June, to where by the end of June we'll be able to start doing some heavy external beta testing with that. And so as it relates to collaborative editing, what we're talking about there with that feature functionality is basically what a lot of people refer to as the kind of multiplayer type work within your drawing and the editor, the canvas view. So where you'll be able to have multiple users working in the project at the same time, to where you can collaborate together on it. Or if you need to kind of show one another one thing, you can break up large projects and have two different estimators, two different people tackling those at the same time. You'll be able to do that. Today, whenever you get into a project, you're probably used to seeing where it's locked by another user because they're working on it and you can't be in there at the same time. So we've got a lot of that shipped to our internal server, where we're doing some internal testing and wrapping up some of the kind of the major issues that we're seeing with it, or the different, I say issues, it's more like different things that we need to handle that come across. And so you'll start to see that coming from us and from Kelsey as well, the opportunity to be able to sign up and participate in that external beta once we get rolled out. So have that on your, be thinking about that and thinking about whether or not you would want to participate in it. So yeah, wanted to kind of look at then the kind of first part we can look at would be the section report and the things that we have recently added related to it. And so I'm going to hop into this one, but I have a section report open in another tab that I'll demo and show them. But when we're talking about the section report, what we're meaning is whenever you come into your export options at the top right, then where we have recently, over the past month, we've broken this create section report out into its own option here. Previously, it was in this export project where you could either download the PDF or you could do this section report. So we went ahead and put it out into this main menu to be able to choose. And so when you create the section report, it's going to create a tab very similar to this. And so it'll open up in a new tab. Within a section report, the things we've added last month and this month, you have these different types. I guess you would say different types of reports that you can easily get to. So the section totals is going to be all your material that you're drawing with, and then you can have the different data points around it. And so we've added the project summary here to where you have just this information that's at the top related to it. You can see within it as well. The thing that was new for this release is these column select. And so you can change and turn on which columns you want to have related to it. Unit cost, all the different things we've added these in. So you can have all these different columns that are on the report. You can see here if I scroll kind of to the left or right, you can see them. And then we've added in the page specific totals. So page specific totals existed previously, but what didn't exist is being able to also control which pages you show. So you can then not only turn on the page specific totals. So this is really helpful for those that are doing a lot of PDF plan takeoffs where you've got multiple plans for that particular PDF. That's why this is a construction plan that I had pulled up and all the different pages that are associated with it. And so you can see here how the page specific totals gives you a breakdown of all the quantities per page. And then you can control those, turning them on and off for different ones that you want to see. That stuff, so these filters or the columns exist for object locations. Since this is a PDF, we don't have locations, but on map projects, we do have that. So I could come back into this one that has a few trees, I think, placed on the plan. So if I create that section report, you can see how in this one, if I click over to the object locations, it's going to give me a breakdown of all the different objects that are on the map and the latitude and longitude of those that you can have access to. And then we also have the estimate report. So if you're doing estimating within PropertyIntel, the estimate report is going to give you that to be able to easily generate out. You can again adjust the columns that you have here. And then you can also export out what you're currently viewing. So you can take that and use it in any spreadsheet software that you might be using to further refine the estimate that you have on it. So we've done a good bit of work on this particular to create a nice report builder. We've got a couple of last things that we're wrapping up related to it that are giving you filter controls. So it'll allow you to do a lot of different filter actions related to it that you can filter this list further by applying those filters. And the filters will work very similar to how if you have our advanced report features, it'll work the same way where you can apply those filters and kind of further refine down the results that you're getting here related to it. Yeah, so that's the section report builder. I was going to look at if it was worth showing a couple of features related to some of the other general improvements that we had. I think that one of them relates to being able to do, let's see here, if we took, let me add in a mulch material. So one of the things that we have added is the ability to do decimal places on the depth of mulch. And so you can add in those here. Previously, you had to do whole number in inches when you were doing a depth per volume. And so we added additional support for this. So we found this to be a really common need for our asphalt users where they weren't exactly doing whole depths. So just kind of note that that's a new feature that if you needed that previously, that you can kind of come in and do decimal place mulch. So you can do inch and a half, inch and a quarter, that type of thing. You kind of see how related to this, how that's changing and updating based off of the depth that I have here. So that's a nice addition that was worth showing related to that. I think that's really it that I think that's worth probably that's demoable. A lot of the other bug fixes were little small things in the back end that don't really have a lot of wow feature functionality related to that. So I'm gonna stop sharing, Kelsey. I think if you want to put up the roadmap slide.
I will take back over, and just for anyone in our audience out there, feel free as we get close to the end here to drop any questions that you might have in the Q&A. We are close to finishing, so just let us know if you have any questions or comments that you'd like us to address. Back to you, Joshua.
Yep. So yeah, the things that'll you'll start to probably after probably as we get into our next office hours next month, collaborative editing and site audits and inspections, you'll start to see those drop off because we'll be getting those into with site audits and inspections, everything fully out into production, and then collaborative editing into that external beta. So, but we are wrapping up one additional feature set related to the reference map updates that give the site audit and inspection functionality, which is adding some prompts that you can add to the groups. And so that would allow you to do things like having a scale rating on a group if you're going to be using reference maps for inspections or other additional selections and drop downs for adding data and tags to individual groups. So if you've not interacted with what we've been doing there yet, I would encourage you to take a look at it. I think this past really the past 2 power hours that we've sent out have really good videos and information around using reference maps and all the updates that we've made in reference maps with adding pins, adding images to those pins, and being able to, the large one that we showed last month was the being able to create the PDF report from a reference map so that you have that report sharing functionality. So I would encourage you to check that out if you haven't already. It's a big ad. So, but yeah, where we're kind of headed, I think, over this summer is finishing up our section report builder, but then doing a lot of time on project exports and then the PDF takeoff automations. And so we have ProMaps, which introduces AI functionality for measuring from maps. And so what we'll be doing a lot over this summer is doing a lot of that same AI driven feature functionality for PDF takeoff automation. So we've got a lot of really good stuff planned there to everything from like improving the amount of time it takes you to add items to your list for doing the takeoff from that plant legend to doing some text search, image search, that type of things to be able to do some automations within your takeoff, leveraging AI and leveraging some of the models that we have available to us today. So we're really excited about that and that functionality and starting to get that next kind of generation of functionality related to PDF takeoffs into the system. So a lot of our summer is going to be taken up, and with that effort, being able to do that. As we kind of move on from there, you can kind of see where we're headed towards after that, towards the later in the year with map metadata, property dashboard, image editing improvements, being able to, we've had a lot of requests around more picture options whenever people are doing kind of that 2D of like, here's what the design's going to look like, editing from a photo. And so we've got time set aside later this year to do improvements there. And then the additional drawing tools as well. You'll start to kind of see probably a little bit of both within the PDF takeoff automations. Some of the other AI functionality will show up in the additional drawing tools as well. And then the kind of the last thing is more of a enterprise functionality, but having a little bit more granular user permissions related to what users can do and can't do within the system. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you,
Good.
Joshua. We did not receive any questions throughout today's webinar. Leave it open for another 30, 60 seconds or so, just to give it a last chance for any of those to come in. But if there are no questions, we thank you for joining us today. There will be a recording sent out after we get this recording processed and posted onto YouTube. So keep an eye out for that, and then keep an eye out for Thursday's insider email. And we will see you next month. Thanks for joining us.